Disc Jockey News. We are at NAMM 2014. We're in the Yamaha room right now, and we're looking at a lot of cool new stuff. Right now, I've got John Schauer here. John Schauer is a Yamaha product specialist. This is the guy that when I have questions about sound and gear, I go to John because he knows his stuff. Is that enough now? Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right now, John, I've heard you've got this new line of MG, the latest generation of the MG series of mixers. Now, a lot of DJs are doing sound for different events, different groups. So the new MG series, I think, is going to be very, very popular in that community because there's some functionality here that's, well, new stuff. Let's talk about that. Let's
absolutely, yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here, and you're absolutely right. We feel like that for a lot of what we would call utility mixing, MG mixers have been a staple amongst DJs for a long time, and they've held up well, and we just wanted to kind of refresh them with new technology and add some features that we knew were available that came of age with technology, and also fix a few things that we knew needed some help. One of the big things, our previous generation of MGs had a plastic chassis.
Sure.
Some customers didn't think that made it felt cheap somehow, even though it was a less expensive way to do things. So we've gone back to the metal chassis.
Nice.
Another thing we were able to do is put the power supplies inside the units, so there's no more line lump to run around inside your flight cases.
So it's IEC coming right into
straight out of the kit, yeah. And she'll run on any power that you give her, 100 or up to 240 volts. So if you go somewhere else, it's going to be fine.
Ready to go.
Yeah, and so the ability, one of the things that we've had in some of the previous MGs was a USB interface.
Yeah.
We upped the ante on that, and now it's a class USB 2.0, and it's a class compliant driver. So it's ready to work right out of the box. You don't need to go download drivers. There's no hassle. So a lot of guys want to record stuff right off the stereo bus, and it'd be super easy to do. So you can just go straight into your computer right out of the USB out of this mixer, and you're good to go. But one of the things we also found was that you'd have the ability to directly record up to the SoundCloud via any sort of an app. We actually have an app that's $1.99 that would take care of that for you and allow you to put your music and your service right up on the cloud and let anybody share it. It's awesome.
Now, when I was looking for an USB, I see that there's a spot here. Jeremy, can you get up here? Yeah, we can go now. Now, we were talking about recording. Now, that's sound going out. But now, if I hit this, now we have the sound coming right back in.
Well, totally. Yeah. One of the things by sharing this input with either the digital or the analog, we can do USB or line input. So it works out really well.
So we're going to get the best quality.
Oh, totally. Both ways.
Yeah,
sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, these mixers will also come with the rack ears.
Oh,
so that they come with it. You don't need those, no option or anything like that. So they'll go right into your case.
19-inch rack mount?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
absolutely.
Nice. I'm looking here and I'm seeing something that I haven't seen on a lot of boards. Now, tell me about that.
Yes.
You're looking at.
Well, the older MGs had 16 effects, and they were good, but we were able to tweak all of these new effects and add some more. So now we've got a possible 24 different effects that we went through and started over, and we just came up with presets we thought would hit the mark right off. So I think anybody who calls up one of the presets is going to really appreciate the reverb sounds right when they dial it in the first time. Of course, there's adjustability, but we've come up with some presets we think you guys will really like. Also, there's some fun stuff for doing karaoke and things like that. We've got distortion and radio voice. You can have all kinds of fun with this. Oh yeah, for games and stuff such like that. It's very fun.
Now, for inputs, what do we have for inputs on this board?
Okay, so when you look across the top of it, you'll notice there's 16 XLRs. So you can come in on balanced ends. Those are, you can use microphones, you can use line level inputs, but those are all XLRs.
Nice.
So you'll notice some of these, they have this oddball looking connector. It's a combi plug, we call it. It allows you to use 1/4 inch in the same exact jack.
Okay.
It costs a little more, but we figured that it saves the guys having to get an adapter.
Precisely. You use a
Absolutely, and these are quarter-inch. They're actually plugged in there. So you get these 16 mic pre's, but it's a total of 20 inputs. So some of these can also have stereo inputs. So for the DJ who's running a couple of decks into here, or maybe his computer, he could come in here on the stereo channels, and he'd pick them up down here on the stereo channels. But the 16 faders allow him to use it for the mono inputs if he likes as well.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. There's a movie functionality, with a lot of our EQing and such we've seen. One of the things that really stood out to me is actually down here. There's a lot of boards have had the mute button. I really like this because now, I can tell when it is literally, Jeremy, if you can see that, when it is on, it is indeed on because it's on and it lights up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a really positive feature. We have one other feature that I really like on these boards. When you get to this level, you'll notice one other little button called PFL. This pre-fader listen button immediately puts the metering of the console and that input only in your headphones. So if you want to cue something up, maybe to see if you're at the beginning of your track, or if maybe you hear a noise during a performance and you want to know if it's a noisy mic or a bad cable, it's easy for you to use these PFLs and not disturb your main mix. That's really great for setups.
Very beneficial, very beneficial. Yes, sir. So this is the MG20XU. Now if a person didn't want some of the the USB, they weren't into that, there's another option.
Oh yeah, if you want to save a little money and you don't mind not having an effect or the USB connectivity, we got an MG20, which has the same connectivity but lacks that processor for the reverb.
Nice.
So you'll save some money on that, obviously.
You're going to save a little money now as far as the internals, the electronics, all the same.
Yeah, everything's the same.
The massive, and it's the best way to describe it is the massive headroom that these boards have. I mean, we hooked them up to some speakers, they've got a lot of headroom on there.
Again, by using the latest chips and really working to make the mic pre's nice and clean, it's quiet.
Yeah.
You'll not hear any white noise with this console that you might be used to hearing in other models or previous models of consoles, and it's harder to make them sound bad. That's part of our reason for simplifying the setup, making it easy for guys to sound good right off. I mean, we have really good sounding speakers. Why not make a really good sounding mixer to go along with it? So that's kind of where we went with MG.
Yeah, that sounds great. So this is the MG20 series, we'll call it. We're going to put some links in the description below so you can check these out. But this is the latest generation of MG mixers from Yamaha. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News.